Well, greeting entrepreneurs. I wanted to come in and I wanted to do this video because on my website, I have had a number of people asking me about creating websites and basically, could I do a video so they can basically see what goes into creating a website. So I want to let you know if you have the time and energy to put into creating a website, then it will serve you so great because, as you know, being on certain social media channels, those are not your platforms. Those belong to other entities, other companies. So it is a great resource to have your own website, but only if you're ready for the work that goes into it. Just putting up a website with beautiful pictures and videos and all of those things will not bring your target audience to your website. There is a lot of work that goes into creating a website. I build websites. Even though that's not what I'm doing at this point in time, I know how to code a little bit, so I know how to go in and change certain aesthetics of the website. So I'm just letting you know there's a lot of things that goes into a website. Now, this site was made with Divi Builder, and I love it because I don't have to basically sit here and just code an entire website. If I wanted to, I could, but why do that when you have so many different options out here that can help you to get the look and feel that you want? So let me go on record and say this. What is your website for? Your website is not just about you putting out information about, partly about what you do. Yes, that's a component of it. But basically, your website exists as your calling card, your virtual business card to educate, equip, or entertain people with your content. So, whatever it is, whatever industry you are in, make sure that your website reflects that. It's not just about you just trying to always sell a product or service, but you're going in a little bit deeper and letting the person that's coming on your website know exactly the information that they need to make an informed decision whether they want to purchase from your brand or not. So let's get started. So now the first thing that goes into creating your website, and it always starts with a plan. Nothing you do in business starts without a plan. So the first thing is you're going to need hosting. I host with WPX hosting. I love them. Yes, they're a little bit more expensive. I pay like around $25 a month, but they have the fastest service, meaning I don't have to wait a long time for my website to upload. Also within that is any trouble or any problems that I'm having with my website, they're available. I just go in, open up my account, and I just go in, open up my account, and I'm able to basically go in and live chat ASAP to someone who will help me right there on the spot. If the issue they cannot help me with, then they will create a ticket. And usually somebody gets back to me within a couple of hours. So they are a great service. I've been with them for, I think, maybe over 2 years. So I love them. So the next part of creating your website is what type of layout do you want? Do you even know how you want your website to look? The next part is images. They have to be high quality because once you put them on your site, you have to see, are they going to be bold? Are they going to display or connect with those who come on your website? You also have to understand website colors. Like, what is your colors? What are the colors that you are choosing for your website? And we're going to get into colors based on, what type of emotion do you want it to bring in those who are visiting your website. Then content. Are you going to put video, podcasts, or blogs on your website? And for me, I do all three, but maybe not so much video, but mostly in the podcast and blog. I do that type of content on my website. But if you're going to put those type of content, then you have to even be more organized and structured in the type of content. Like, don't start out like bringing out certain type of content, but you're not consistent with it. Be very consistent with the type of content. Even if you say, okay, well, I just want a page for podcasting or video or whatever, but make it streamlined, make it where it's not confusing to your audience that's coming across on your website. as you see on my website, and let me just go back there for a minute. I do podcasts, but I have a separate page for podcasts. I have a separate page for blog posts. So if you want to do certain like videos, maybe you want to do all three, then make a separate page for videos. So this way you're not mixing things within one spot. Some people do that, but I mean, it's based on how you want to lay it out, but you want to make sure it's cohesive and it's not confusing your, your followers. So the next thing is you have to create a privacy policy, terms of service. And I use WordPress. So within WordPress, they do have plugins for that. And you can basically just go in, type in your information. And what WordPress will do is it will create those policies for you. You always want to have an about me or about us page if it's more than one person. The reason for that is because you're letting people know who you are. What is it that you do? Who is it that you serve? And how you do it. So this way they can get more of an insight about you, not only as a business person, but as, a person who may have different likes or whatever. Sometimes we connect with our audience based on maybe you're a gamer, maybe you like your foodie or whatever that is. And when you mention that in your about me page, it will connect someone to you and like, well, I'm a foodie too, or I'm a coffee lover or a wine lover. So when they find out little personal things about you, it kind of connects you. So don't be afraid in sharing that side of you because it's basically your personality. So again, if you're going to put up a products page, then you're going to have photos of your products. You're going to have to, meaning images, make sure they're good images. Make sure that, you have the different types of what I would say numbers or SKUs. When you have products, then you can basically, if you're using WordPress, you can go into your plugins, and I'll just show you on my end within my dashboard. Let me just let it load. So as you see down here, I use a Stripe and I use WooCommerce. So those are where you would go in and you would just actually like add, products, add a new product. Then you can see your products. You can tag them. You can have different categories. So this is a way that you can go in and put in your products within that specific, plugin. So let me just open it up just so you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. So you would just go here, title your product. What is the name of it? Then if you have a photo, you would, add that photo. Usually I like to add my photos, and let me let the page finish loading. My computer is a little slow because I have a lot of windows open because I want to basically some actionable steps to make sure that you on my computer. I don't know why. Let's just use one microphone. Let's just use the built-in microphone because I don't know what's going on. So I apologize for if you've seen that pop up on the screen. But usually what I would do, go down here and where you see product image, I would just click that, and then I would already have the images uploaded into where you see media here. So within WordPress, you go here and you have a media library, and then you can just go in. As you see, it opened up. And here are all of my images, my podcasts, my PDFs. So all of those things are within my file. So when I upload it here, then I can just go in and select it and add it to my post, my blog post, wherever I need that image to display at. So I just wanted to kind of show you that. But if you're working with WordPress, you will need certain plugins. You will need that WooCommerce plugin or Stripe or whichever, payment provider you want to go with. As you see right here, here's the plugins. So these are my installed plugins that need to be updated. So what I love about WordPress is it will tell you what plugins need to be updated. So this is the reason why you as an entrepreneur need to know that when you're creating a website, especially a WordPress website, there is maintenance that has to be done. Most of the times you have to go in and update those plugins. WordPress, usually has a new update to their platform that you need to go and update it. I have not updated mine yet, but I will be doing that shortly. Then you have all of your other plugins that, help to run your website. So let's go back to the list. So now the next one is customer service. Now, even though this is the last one on the list, but it is the most important one, because you always want to have on your website, and let me just go back here. Let me just go back to my site. You want to always have a place where if a customer has purchased something from you, you want to be able to have where they can go and give you feedback. You want to make sure that if they have any problems or whatever, I have it right here under products where there's a customer service survey. So this way they can let me know if, they had a good experience, if there's anything I can do, and that is vital because customer service is basically the lifeblood of your business. If your customers are not satisfied with either how, your shipping policy is or your return, or all of those need to be outlined within your terms of service policy. And this is the reason why you need to have that written up, even though there's a plugin for it, but you're going to go in and you're going to plug in that data. You're going to make sure that they know if there's a return policy, if there's a money back guarantee, how many days that guarantee, will last. They need to know what can be returned, what items cannot be returned, do you give back money or do you give a credit to that specific item? So these are very important that you need to know when creating your website, especially if you have some type of product, or even if it's a digital product. Now, most digital products, there's not going to be any type of return policy because once they download that, they have that resource on their computer. So most digital products, you do not receive money back. But if there's maybe the link is broken or something happened they didn't receive it, then you can go ahead and you can resend the link or whatever that issue may be. But with any type of physical product, you want to make sure that you are outlining the terms of service. So this way there is no way for miscommunication. They know it. And I would usually, when I'm doing anything, I would let my customers know within that, what I would say, that page, that the product page, maybe you can even put, customer service terms, or maybe when you're emailing them about an order or letting them know that they have their order is complete, maybe you just want to include a link to your terms of service. So this way it is within that email. So this is a good way to say, well, I sent you the link of our terms of service. So this way you can be aware if there's any things going on, that this is our policy, but here is, how you can contact us and we will help you with any issues that you may have. So that is a great way to continue to keep pushing the envelope to improve your customer service. So now let's go to layout, because when you are starting your first website or creating your website, you want to know what type of layout that you want your website to look. And sometimes there's so many different choices that it can be hard, but I'm sure maybe different websites you visited or things that you've seen on the internet, you probably know the kind of aesthetic or the kind of layout that you want. So my go-to when I'm looking to create something new or to have something fresh, I would basically go to Pinterest, and I would go and I would look at different types of websites. You can just go in Pinterest and put in website mood board design, website layout inspiration, website design. So this way you can kind of get, some type of, clue on how you want your website to look like. What do you want your website to display when you are creating it? Even if you're not creating it yourself, if you're having someone else to design it, then at least you're giving them some type of, what I would say, imagery that they can say, okay, now I know what kind of layout that you want. So they can go in and they can create that for you. So Instagram is not Instagram, Pinterest is a very good place to go and get inspiration, so you can, find a type of layout, find a type of aesthetic that you want. So here is where I'm going to kind of go into, let's go back to that list for a minute. So the next one is images. Images is very, very important because you want your images to display correctly on your website. Some images, they may look great when you are viewing them or even downloading them. But soon as you put them on the website, they look distorted, they look blurry. So they're not really displaying the type of aesthetic that you want your website to showcase. So with that, you want to make sure that you're getting high quality images. A place that I go to for images is Unsplash. So you can go in and you can, kind of search the type of, picture that you're looking for, type of photos, like what is your business about? For instance, let's go in here and let's do real estate. So if you're a real estate agent and you're looking for photos, which I'm sure it's not hard, but what I'm saying, if you're just looking for photos to put on your website, you're going to go in and you're going to look at different houses. Now, if you are creating a listing based on your website, then you're going to take photos of those houses where the listing is. So this way you want to make sure you have a high quality camera. Your iPhone is really good at taking really good pictures. So the iPhone is, to me, the best camera. The iPhone and the Galaxy have very good cameras on them. So this way you can upload those to your computer and put them on your website, and they will look very professional if you're taking them with the right lighting and making sure there's no shadows. You have so many different photo, what I would say, I'm trying to think of the word, that you can go in and basically make the photo look better. And I'm trying to think of the word, but let me just go on my phone for a minute because I have it on my phone and it's called Lightroom. You can basically upload those pictures into Lightroom and you can take out any shadows. You can make the image more vibrant. They have what they call presets. Now you can go on Etsy and you can find different presets for your photos to make them have a different aesthetic, a nice bold look. If you want to go into Lightroom and play around with them yourself, you can create your own presets. But for time's sake, you can go into Etsy and look for, Lightroom presets. They cost sometimes like $1 and some change, maybe $3 at the most, depending on the images, depending on the presets. Let me say that. So when you're going and you're looking, like if you're a real estate agent and you want your website to look, very welcoming, and you want people to view your website and see what it is that you have for them, then you're going to go and you're going to find these type of photos and you're going to download them and you're going to lay them out in a way that is going to bring your target audience or target market to that website so they continue to come back, right? So that's just one website. There's another one. It's called Pixels. Let me type that in. And I hope I'm spelling it right. Okay. So Pixels is another one that you can go in. And with Pixels, you can also add video. If there's videos there that you want to put on your website based on the type of content that you want to relate. Remember, everything that you're putting on your website within that aesthetic, maybe it's your homepage, you want it to be relatable to what the business is. You don't want to just throw video up there for the sake of throwing video. This is why you have to plan out your design. You have to plan out what it is that you want to do within that. So that's another website that you can use. And these are all free, royalty free. You don't have to worry about attribution, giving, what I would say, letting people know who the creator of the photo was. You can just basically download it and put it on your website. Now, if you want to go the extra mile, Creative Market is another platform where you can go to and you can basically, get things that are already done for you. And then you just would go in and plug in your information, upload your photos. So if you don't want to go in and create it yourself, it's basically already done for you. So you're just going in and you are just selecting which, theme that you like. And then you would just go in and you would upload your photos in the place of where those photos are. So like this one, if you're maybe an influencer and you are doing like, fashion photo shoots or whatever that is, and that's something that you like that theme, then you would just go ahead, add it to your cart, and then you would upload it to your WordPress, and then you would just go ahead and start putting in your content, putting in what you would say and different things like that. So I just wanted to basically show you. So for Creative Market, you have graphics, you have fonts, you have templates, you have web themes, you have even photos. So if you want to get photos that maybe are not used all around the internet, you can go in here and find your high quality stock photos. They have different categories, your business and fashion, your architecture, your beauty. So all of these things, and I mean, they're very reasonable price. So if you go in, you find the type of, what I would say, the type of aesthetic that you're looking to display. And I want to take a minute to show you something about choosing colors for your website based on the type of industry you are in. If you are, for instance, say you're in, let's go here and just say spa theme. So if your business is about, maybe you carry organic spa products, you make spa products, you make them yourself for self-care and things of that. So these are photos that maybe you would want to download, but maybe your color scheme for your website is going to be something that is going to be maybe neutral colors, like light beiges and browns, maybe touches of green, because they give you that spa-like feel. They give you that spa-like sense. When somebody comes to your website, it is calming. So I want to take you to a color grid to show you how certain businesses use color to evoke emotion in their followers and even in their customers. So let me take you there. Okay, now I wanted to show you this list that I created for my business, and it's called the SOP. And this is short for Standard Operating Procedures. So within your business, there should be, in different things that you do within your business, there should be a procedure of how you do it. So this way, you know that you're hitting every key point within that specific, whatever it is, whether it's a blog post, a video, a podcast. There are certain tasks that is involved with getting to the end result of that blog, to getting to the end result of that video, to getting to the end result of that podcast. So if you don't know all of the things, or you're just basically going off of, okay, well, I'll just throw this together, it's not going to work. You need to have a systematic way of doing things within your business. So the first thing is, any type of content that you're going to create, first and foremost, you need to research that topic. You need to know, is it relevant? Is it something that your audience needs? What are the keywords that they're searching to find that specific topic? So these are things that you have to do your due diligence with. You have to write down those write down the key points. Like whenever I'm creating anything, I want to write down what are the key points or the highlights or the takeaways, because in a blog post or even in a video, I may give out so much information, but there may be 3 key points that I really want to stick in that viewer's mind or that reader's mind. So I'll say, these are the 3 key points that I'm highlighting, so that way you don't forget them. Then I need to go again and gather my photos. If I'm doing a blog post, I need to gather my photos. I need to know what photos are going to speak about the topic that I'm talking about. I don't just want it to be just a blog post that maybe doesn't have that many images. Certain blog posts may not have too many images, but I want to make sure that I am coming across and relating to you, so you can get in your mind what really the topic is about and how that image is driving it more home in your mind. So if I know that I'm growing my email list, or I want to grow my email list based on a certain specific topic I'm talking about, then I may create a call to action, some type of checklist, maybe a PDF, a workbook, a guide, whatever that is. It may even be a video snippet. It may be a link to a podcast that only I created for specifically that specific blog post. So this way, when someone signs up, I've gained a lead on my email list. And then I'm also using that to make sure that I am interacting with them and nurturing them through the journey of their time with me on my email list. So now I'm going to go look for backlinks. What are backlinks are so important? Because if I'm speaking on a topic, say bloggers or blogging, how to blog or prepare your blogs for first-time bloggers. So maybe I'm going in and I'm providing content on how to start your blog and what that entails. So maybe I'll go and I'll find information on someone who started out as, just this blogger blogging from their kitchen or their bedroom or living room, but now they're making millions of dollars and they turned it into a business. So I may link to that article, which is called a backlink, because I'm not only just giving you my take on it, I'm giving you someone who has created basically a career from it, and they're very successful in it. So I'm giving you another viewpoint of that specific topic. Now, internal links are basically content that is already within your website, meaning content that you've already spoke about. So if I'm creating a blog post, say social media marketing, and I talked about it maybe months ago or a year ago, whatever that time frame was, but I know that there's relevant information within that blog post. So I'm going to link that within that blog post. So now you can have a more of a well-rounded view of a same topic that I covered that may have information that you've never seen before or you've never read before. So these are things that help you with your SEO, your search engine optimization, because a website is more than just looking pretty. A website is more than just putting it out there for for people to see. It's basically, there's a lot that goes in behind the scenes. And if you are not ready for that task, or you don't have somebody that you can delegate that to, then maybe you want to just wait until you get everything in order, because a website will take a lot of your time. Because besides creating the content, putting it up there, you're going to also have to basically not only monitor it, but you're going to have to make sure that you are tracking the data. Do you know how many people are coming to your website? Do you know what pages did they visit? Do you know basically, how long they stayed on certain pages? That is so important, because it helps you as an entrepreneur to continue to create what I would say more content for them and basically improve your website. Now, the next one on this list is add meta description. And I'll basically try to show you what a meta description is. So when you are creating, now this right here is posts. So on the back end of my website, you'll see all posts, new posts. So whenever I'm creating a new post, I'm going to go in, I'm going to hit new post. So based on this video here, this was one of the posts that I created, key strategies when creating your first website, right? So when you go down, because this right here, what you see here is my Divi builder. This is my theme builder. So this is the specific theme that I chose for this post to build this content out. So I can either build it on the back end or I can build it on the front end, which will give me more of a visual aesthetic than just me seeing what you see right here on the screen. So now as I go down, there is the SEO. Now, Yoast SEO is a plugin on WordPress. I'm sure it may exist on other platforms. I don't know about Squarespace or Wix or Weebly. I'm not too familiar with certain plugins that they do have for SEO. I'm sure that they have them there. But for WordPress, I use the plugin Yoast SEO. And what it helps me to do is make sure that when you see this green happy face, it means that I have optimized my post for search engine optimization, meaning that that post can be found on Google's site. Like if somebody types in a certain keyword, which you see, I have the word here, key, meaning that if they type that word in this Google search engine, my blog post should come up. Now, it may not come up on the first page because you have a lot of people fighting for Google's first page, especially when you have people who have already paid for ads. But it may come up on the second page, the third page, but the whole goal of SEO is to get your page up on the first page. And to do it organically, that's why you use keywords. That's why you use, and I'll throw out another term here, long tail keywords, where you are not vying for specific keywords because people are paying upwards to maybe $23 maybe even more, $41 for certain keywords for people to click on their link. But when you're doing it organically and you're not putting ad spend behind your keywords, then now you have to understand what it is your audience is searching for and hit it within your title. See, let me go up here. So my title needs to have certain keywords that when my target audience is searching for anything about creating a website, I should come up in those search results because I've used the keywords that they're actually looking for. So hopefully you understand that. If not, please leave any comments in the comments below this video so I can come in and I can answer them for you. Anything that you're not clear about, I will come in and I will answer it for you. So then when you go down here, you'll see what is called the meta description. Now, your meta description is basically giving you a description of what that blog post, that video, that podcast, or whatever it is going to be about. So you want to make sure, again, you are using keywords within that meta description, because if somebody sees this, and as you see the little preview here, when they see that, it's letting them know what that blog post is going to be about before they actually click on that link. So if you're actually hitting the key points, the pain points, whatever they're struggling with within that meta description, then they'll be like, oh, wow, let me go read this blog post. So now you have gained traffic based on the meta description of your topic. So let me just go here and show you the analysis. Now, as you've seen up here, the readability. Now, the readability is something that I know I need to continually work on. And this is why creating a website is a work in progress. You may not hit all of the avenues all at once, but as you start learning more and more about SEO, about creating certain transitional words and consecutive sentences and all of that, you will get better as time goes on. So as you'll see, these couple of things that if I go ahead and fix them, it will give me a better reading. It will give me a better score. But most of the times I'm just looking at the SEO part of it, because when I look at the blog post, I'm saying, well, I believe people can get the concept of what I'm talking about. But if I want to go ahead and, do my due diligence to make sure that it is hitting all points, then I'll go in here and I will just update that and make sure it is giving me a better score than that. So let's go down. So when you see the SEO keyword analysis, as I was telling you, let me just go here. So right here, it's telling me the reason why I got that green light, meaning I did a good job, is because I hit 13 key points with creating my SEO, meaning I got good outbound links, internal, key phrase introduction, length, density, meta description, the heading, the link, my text contained 1,422 words, good title. So these are all the things that when you are creating a website, this is even past the creating a website. Say your website is done. You've had somebody create your website, it's up and everything, but now the work comes in when you are creating content for it. Because just because the website looks good and has all the bulbs and flashes doesn't mean that traffic is going to come to it if the content is not relevant to what your audience is struggling with. Let me just say that. So a lot of work goes into maintaining and making sure that you are bringing traffic to your website. When I first started out with my website, it was discouraging. I had zero traffic and I'm like, okay, how do I get traffic? Then I had to go and start looking to see and really start researching what people were looking for. Then gradually, I have one post now that went. It took me 6 months. Nobody was reading it. It took me 6 months. And now that blog post alone has over 1,000 comments on it from people saying how that blog post helped them. So it can be sometimes a long process, but if you don't give up in the process, you will see, the work that you've put into it. It will serve the purpose of what you created for, because that blog post will continue to help entrepreneurs with learning how to, do email marketing. That will never die. It will never get old. And as I get certain amount of followers, then guess what I can do with my website? I can monetize it now. I can get different, businesses to come, and now they see that I have a good, healthy amount of traffic. Now I can monetize my website, where now I can be getting paid when people click on certain things. So just, stay the course, don't give up, and just continue to knock it out of the park. But don't get discouraged, because you do have to put some time and effort into doing it. So let me go back through my SOP. So now, once you do the meta description, now you have to now figure out what is the title of your topic. Just pulling a title out of air is not going to help you. Again, we're going with keywords. We're going with how to make sure that what it is that you are producing is hitting its mark. So what I would do as I'm researching the content or the topic of what it is that I want to talk about, I'm also making sure that that headline is going to be a headline that is catchy, that is going to draw that person in who's reading that. Because most of the times people will read a headline before they read the copy. If the headline pulls them in, hopefully the copy will keep them there, meaning everything else that you've written about. Because you don't want to just have a killer headline, but then the rest of the copy falls short. You want to continue to hold their attention even when you start speaking about whatever topic you're on. So I would go to this site right here, and it's CoSchedule Headline Analyzer. And what I would do is I would pop in the headline that I am using, and it would, throw me out a score to let me know if that score is a good headline score. So they would show you, okay, that headline score is 67 headline, 46 in SEO. So if we see red, we know red means it can be improved. And what I love about CoSchedule is they help you. Even if your headline score is low, they still give you tips on what you need to do to raise that score. They give you tips to say, use more power words, use more emotional words, use more uncommon words. And then they have a link to show you those words that you can use to basically boost your headline score. So you have help out here. You have what I would say the tools and resources to help you. But again, it's a time game. It's a long game. When you're in business, it's not just, hitting the goal, reaching the goal, or even exceeding the goal. It's like, once you've met your goal, there's still another goal in place. I don't care if your goal is to make 100K at the end of 2021. Then there's another goal. Maybe you say, okay, I don't reach 120 this year. Next year, I want to reach, 150. So the goal always changes, but also your strategies and how you implement your task may have to change. You may have to come up a level. Maybe once you get to a certain level within your business, now you have to bring on somebody who can help you with the business, because now the business is growing. So I just wanted to basically show you what goes into basically not only just creating a website, but maintaining it. So let's go down to the photo metadata. Let me go here. Now, photo metadata is something that, I would say, being very transparent, I fall short on. But when you see this image right here, when you click on that image, and this is only within like my WordPress, I don't know how it would look in maybe Squarespace or another platform. But when I come here, when I click an image that I'm going to use within a blog post, do you see that they have alt text, they have title, they have caption, they have description, and then they have like if you have a file or whatever, where that file is located. So this is where you put all of your metadata of what that image is. And why is that? Because if somebody comes to that image, maybe that image pops up and they click on that image can basically tell them, if you put in the metadata, it will tell them what that image is tied to. Like, what is that image about? Is that image, does it belong to a blog post? Does it belong to a video? What is behind it? Or is it just basically just a standalone image? So that's what metadata is, because if somebody is just clicking on the image to get information about why the image pops up, you want to make sure that, hey, this image is going to help you learn how to grow your email list, or this image is going to help you to learn how to create a website. So if that's something that somebody is interested in, then they're going to click that image that's going to lead them to your website. So metadata for your images is very important as well. And that's something that I have to get a little bit more, hanker down with, because usually when I'm creating something, I gather all my photos and things. And long as I get that green light, I'm like, you know what, that's it. But, it's a process. So the next thing is I create my blog posts most of the time in Google Docs. It's a free, where you see me at right now. It's a free platform resource where you just go in and you can create all of any type of, file documents, Word documents, or whatever. And I love it because whenever I need to come in and do a quick blog post, I love it has auto corrects for spelling. If you misspelled words, it even suggests the right word. If the punctuation, it even helps you if you have wrong punctuation. So I love using this type of resource because it helps me to not have to, put up things on my website that may be misspelled or not punctuated correctly, because you want to come across in your business, in your industry as a professional. You don't want to, sometimes we do mess up. We may spell something wrong, but we don't want that to be the theme that every time we create something, there's always a misspelling or punctuation is off. So we, do it in Google Docs and it will help you so much. Now, the next thing that I do is, I post it on my website. I may set a schedule, or else if I'm just publishing it that day, I will let it go ahead and I will let it publish. And it's out there, it's live. And then I'll go on my social media channels and I will basically, already create the photos for my social media content to let them know, hey, I have a new blog post, visit the blog, or I have a new podcast, visit the podcast, or video. So I'm already have this stuff already done behind the scenes because I already know what it is that I've created. So I have those things to push out on my social media channels to bring people where? Back to my home base, which is my website. It's fine to use Instagram and Facebook and all of those things, but you want to make sure that you have a home base. If Instagram and Facebook fold today, guess what? You have a platform where people can come and follow you at. So don't rely too heavily on these third-party platforms, because they're always changing the rules, the algorithms, all of those things. But on your site, you have the control of what it is that you want to display and put out there. So now the last and final part, and what I would say is the most important part of just being a good savvy businesspreneur, is making sure that you are looking at your data. Because guess what? Anything that you're not measuring, how do you know you're growing? Anything that you're not going behind the scenes and looking to see how many people have visited my site today? How many people have clicked on certain things? How many people have, how long have they stayed here on my page? You need to know that, because this way you can improve what is not working. And if you don't know what is not working, then how can you improve it? So I have a tool on my WordPress, and it's called Exact Measures, but this is not a pro tool, meaning this is just what you would say the free version of it. So this has just changed since yesterday, because right here I had, I think yesterday I had I forgot how many sessions I had, but right here you'll see 68 sessions. It went down by 6%. Here I have page views, 97 page views. It went down by 12%. The average duration that they stayed on the website was 1 minute and 26 seconds. It went down by 29%. And then the bounce rate was 58.82%. Now that's good, because it went down by 10%. So your bounce rate, meaning if your bounce rate is high, like up to 89, that's high. It means people are just coming to your website and leaving very quickly. And let me say this, these numbers change like within the hour, within the days, because people are always coming back. They're either reading, they're either listening to a podcast or whatever that is. But you want to make sure that you know how long they're staying. You want to know how many sessions that they're doing. You want to know this. So if I want to get a little bit more, what I would say, if I want to pull more data out of really what is going on, I have this tool called True Conversion. And I love this tool, even though I have not used it yet to its full capacity, because I'm still learning the platform of it. It is great because I can basically go in and I can record the sessions when people come in. I'll know where they clicked at on the website. I'll know what pages they went to. I also have heat maps. I have analytical forms. Now, the only things I have not activated yet is my smart funnels, micro surveys, and my funnels. Now, those are something I have to kind of look a little bit more within their, tutorials to understand how to set that up. But once I do, then I'll just basically have all of this data based on somebody coming to my website. So I'll know how to gain a lead. Your whole purpose of being in business is not just have followers. Yes, followers are good, but the lifeblood of your business is in gaining a lead, someone who is going to, pay you to do what it is that you do. That is the whole purpose of it. So when you know that you've done what you need to do to keep them there, to basically even ask questions, have a feedback form. On my website, I also have a what you would say a chat box. Like if somebody comes on my website, that I can basically talk to them in real time to basically say, thanks for visiting the website. How can I help you today? So I can understand what is it, why are they there? What do they need? Is it something that I don't have on my website yet that they are looking for, that I can go and create that? So you always want to be asking questions based on your visitors coming there. Why are they coming there? Because they're not coming for nothing. They may have seen you on your social media platforms and you had a link to your website, but you want to know what they're looking for. So let me just show you one of the recordings and how that looks. So let's just go into the recording. And let's go here, because as you see, I've done different recordings, and different recordings give me different reports. So this report started April the 8th and it ends April the 30th, but I can still go in and view what has been recorded up to that, point. But I wanted to go in, let me see. I'm trying to see which one I wanted to go into. Let's go into, I don't know. Okay, I can only go into these two because that's what it's saying. It's still collecting data, so that's fine. So let's go into this one right here. This one was for 57 seconds. And I just want to show you what that looks like when you go in and you're basically getting tools that's going to help you know what it is that your audience is looking for. So as you see this yellow, this black bar right here, as you see the yellow, that's where the activity starts to begin with on my website. So it looks like they came into the website. And now the first thing they started to do, as you see that red line, you see that cursor, they started going down to certain places. It looks like they clicked on certain parts of the website. So it's showing me where they're going to and where they're clicking at. It looks like they clicked right here on my page to go to my podcast. So why is that important? Because it's letting me know what they've read, where they scrolled to, how long they stayed on the home page. And if I want to go in and update this home page, then I'm going to make it even more content worthy so they can stay on there a little bit longer. Maybe I'll put another column that has like the new blog post with the link to go to the blog post, or different things to just up my conversions for them to stay on the website and for them to click on certain parts of the website. So I hope that this gives you some type of insight in truly what goes into creating a website. The creating part of a website is easy. The maintaining it and putting the content on it and basically, tracking the data on it, those are the parts where it can get very tedious, and it's basically a long game. You have to stay the course, and you have to make sure that you are in it to see what it is that your target audience needs from you. Thank you for watching this video. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will come in and answer them for you. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video if certain things you didn't understand. But I thank you for even wanting me to do a video so you can basically get the visual part of it. So have a great day, and I'll be with you on the next video.